Welcome to the Plum 100 here at Plum Court, here in the Plum Court racetrack, where 4 drivers will run 100 laps here in the Plum 100 today. Those 4 people will be the number 15 of E. DeWaldy, the 50 of C. Ramirez, and then you see G. DeWaldy, who doesn't really run long, and then J. DeWaldy, and then eventually E. Ramirez comes in. Sorry, C. Ramirez and J. Ramirez now. They're not all DeWaldy. And you see these 4 drivers run 100 laps. Who can win here today and who will not? Here in the Plum 100, see they're going to get off the pace. See that 25 spot it goes. And they're racing. It's their lap 1. Another underway. Here they go. See, the 15 is trying to just catch up, but he looks like he might not be pushing so hard right now. It's because he's trying to, save that pedaling for maybe a little bit later. See, the gap between the 25 and the 15 is pretty big. See, there's C. Ramirez in the 50 car, Chris in the 50 bike, Chris Ramirez. See, look at Ethan there trying to get to Jesse Ramirez. The gap's pretty big right now. I think Ethan's doing that on purpose. He just kind of wants to cruise around right now. See, Chris and Jada are just kind of being slow lapped bikes right now. See, it's just right now the battle between Jesse and Ethan. And they're just fighting for the lead. But Jesse has a pretty big lead. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. And lap 25, they have a break. Lap 50, they have another break. And lap 75, they have a break. And then they run until 100 after lap 75. So they have a long time. That's why this is called the Plum 100. A long time of racing here. What will happen here in the Plum 100? Jesse continues to absolutely dominate today's race here in the Plum 100. Jesse trying to continue to dominate here today. Maybe even trying to lead every lap if he has the chance and a fast enough bike to. Says Ethan's really trying to gain on him right now. But does he have what it takes to maybe win here in today, the Plum 100? This is a long race, a lot of biking. There goes Jesse, and now here's Ethan. The gap's getting smaller and smaller every lap. Maybe Ethan can win and you see Jada and Chris looks like they might be taking a break because they're in the middle of the track. They need to get out now. Looks like I could throw a caution. It looks like they might get out of the way now. As you see, Ethan is now, the gap's getting a little bit bigger, but he could close it back up. Yes, you see Jada and Chris get off. The gap could get a little bigger as it's getting, just saying the same, maybe getting a little bigger by like an inch. Here, Ethan's going to pedal really hard. The gap's now closed a little bit. There's Jada and Chris sitting out, and the gap is now closing. What does Ethan have for Jesse? Does he have what it takes to be able to be the leader by the end of this first break? By lap 25. It's going to be a lot of pedaling as Jesse looks like he's just cruising around. Ethan's really putting all this effort right now, trying to catch up to Jesse, but I don't know if it's going to work right now at this exact moment. But Ethan has a pretty fast bike, it looks like. You see, there's the gap. It's the closest they've been so far. Can Ethan catch up to Jesse? Look at the gap. Like 0.2 of a second. The gap between Ethan and Jesse. Jesse continuing to lead. There goes Ethan right there. About 0.2 of a second behind him. The gap closing by an inch every lap. There goes Chris, a lapped bike. And when the leaders come by, Ethan and Jesse, he has to move out of the way. It is a rule here in the Plum 100. See, there's the gap. It gets a little bit bigger, but it could close really fast. Jesse continues to lead here in the Plum 100. But look at Ethan right there. He's closing in. Less than 1/10 of a second. And that's going to be a break. Green flag. We're back after a break to start the second half part of the race. Jesse immediately pulls away from Ethan. Jesse trying to win this Plum 100. There's the gap now. The gap closes, getting a little bit bigger. Chris closing in on Ethan. Now the gap's getting bigger between Jesse and Ethan. The gap between Ethan and Chris, I believe, is still the same. Maybe a little bit bigger. The gap is now getting bigger between Ethan and Chris. Ethan and Jesse's gap got a little bit smaller and is now getting back to pretty big. About probably 5/10 of is Jesse, and Ethan's probably about 5/10 of a second, if not more, behind Jesse, trying to win. The Plum 100 is Jesse. Trying to win a trophy, and a checker flag is Jesse. There he continues to lead, dominate this race so far. He's led every lap of today's race. Does he have what it takes to be there in the end? There goes Jesse and Ethan. He's pretty far back, about a second behind Jesse. Four seconds. Ethan is behind Jesse in the 25. Just continuing to dominate today's race. Chris getting a little bit closer now to Ethan, but I believe Chris is a slow bike as the moment. Jesse is getting closer to Ethan. The gap is getting bigger and bigger. It looks like Ethan isn't really trying right now. He's just kind of going a little bit slow. Now you see him starting to pedaling really fast, trying to do whatever he can to win this Plum 100, the trophy and the checker flag. So he's really putting all his effort. This is going to really tire up these drivers by the end of this race. Jesse just continues to dominate and get closer and closer to Ethan every single lap. There's Ethan. There's Jesse. Jesse trying to win this Plum 100. Ethan really trying to win that. There's Chris. Jesse. Closer and closer each lap Jesse gets to Ethan. Guys are going very fast here on the Plum 100 racetrack today. There's Ethan.
Looks like Chris is out.
Now the gap between Ethan and Jesse is getting a little bit bigger, but I don't think it's getting big by much. Jesse gets around Chris, pulls off the track for a little minute. There he is over there, pulls off the racetrack. Ethan there, right there. And here comes Jesse. But he's pretty far back from him. The gap between Ethan and Jesse is closing. Ethan is getting a little bit closer, but not by much. Ethan have what it takes in that number 15 bike to catch up to Jesse. Jesse flying through the field right now with Monkey, aka 24K Banana, who's helping him. But it's just sitting on the bike, not giving him no boost or nothing. Does Ethan have what it takes? He closes in a bunch right now. Very close every single lap. But does he have what it takes? First, Jesse. Second, Ethan. At third is Chris, but he's currently off the racing surface. He's still third. And there he is back on the track, flying right now. There's Jesse. And then Ethan comes right there. Here comes Chris, trying to take second away from Ethan. Does he have what it takes? Probably not. Ethan has just been really fast all day, but not fast enough to catch up to Jesse. There's a perfect shot of Ethan there.
What?
On this cold October day.
Go to the line.
They're Plum Court racing. Ethan and Jesse, the gap gets a little bit bigger and is staying right where it is. Here comes Chris, kind of riding around. Jesse's catching up closer to Chris every lap. Ethan is kind of losing a little bit of time on Jesse, and also I think he's just trying to kind of ride normal and not waste all his energy like Jesse is. And there is the end of the second part. Now here they go. Ethan, Jesse fight. Ethan had the lead for a split second. Now Jesse takes it. Third is Chris. Fourth is Eric. And there they go. After one lap, Jesse pulls away. Ethan, Chris, and Eric. Chris running to top right now. Eric's a really slow bike here. Ethan and Jesse's gap getting bigger and bigger every lap. There's Jesse. Eric's running to the top. Eric stays out of the way of the leaders as they currently run here in the Plum 100. Jesse continues to lead second. Edewaldi third is Chris. And then number 50. And then it's the 15 of Ethan. And then 25 of Jesse in first. These drivers continuing to run laps around Plum Court Raceway. But only one of them can be the champion, the Plum 100. Who will it be? As of right now, it looks like Jesse might do. He's just had a dominant day so far. He's led every lap of the race. Nobody has been able to take the lead. the 15 of Ethan. He did lead the field to the green, but then Jesse looks like he might have jumped the restart a little bit, but did not get penalized. Jumped the restart a little, didn't get penalized though. He continues to lead here in the Plum 100. As you see, Jesse continues to lead. He's kind of getting close to Ethan, potentially lapping him as Ethan's going to get around Chris. Eric is about, but he is a lot of laps down. He just hasn't had a very good day. As the 22 of Giada in that 22 bike. She has already DNF'd the race, so she will finish in last place. She DNF'd very early on. She's getting a little too tired, so she is now DNF'd for the race. So that DNF means, you guys who don't know, DNF means did not finish. She did not finish the race. She has finished last here in the Plum 100. Ethan continues to run in second. Jesse in the 25, just right there, trying to do whatever he can to win this Plum 100, win the checkered flag, and win a trophy here in the Plum 100. But does he have what it takes? He still has a long way to go. He has had a dominant day, but every lap, the lead changes so far today, 0 lead changes. Does he have what it takes to win the Plum 100 here today? He's had a pretty good day. Now he just needs to win this race. Ethan looks like he's kind of closing the gap a little bit. And there's Jesse. The gap between Ethan and Jesse is about 3 or 4 seconds. It is very close. What does Jesse have for Ethan?
A 100.
There's Chris, Jesse, Eric.
Tired, Eric?
It looks like the gap between Jesse and Ethan is getting bigger. And look at Ethan's right there. There's Chris trying to power the outside of him, potentially get to third. Chris is a couple laps down. And here we go. After break, we're back and underway in the Plum 100. Immediately, Jesse jumps to lead Ethan, Chris, and then Eric. They were 3 and 4. They were 4 wide on the start of the race. I believe there might have been. I believe I saw a little bit of contact on that restart there. Ethan did have an advantage, and Jesse came down on him and actually hit him into the wall. I believe. I thought I saw. I might be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure that is what happened. Jesse continues to lead the Plum 100. Ethan currently runs second today, just trying to do whatever he can, hoping that somebody can crash and maybe, hopefully, bring out a caution. We have not had any of those today. Hopefully, we can get a caution because that's what Ethan has been hoping for this entire race. I'm pretty sure a chance to catch back up to Jesse. I don't know if it can happen, though. He's just been so good today. This Jesse, he's just been so good. Nobody's been able to stop him from winning this race. Leading every lap. He has led the most laps here today, and nobody else. If Ethan takes the lead and wins the race, tonight he won't be able to. Jesse will still lead the most laps. That wouldn't really matter. Jesse, Ethan, and Chris make up the top 3. The top 3 is still the same. is Jesse, Ethan, and Chris. Ethan is trying to close the gap in that number 15 bike right now, trying to catch up to Jesse, but he is just struggling. Jesse is getting closer and closer to him every lap. There's Chris, just a bunch of laps down. Not a good day for Chris. He thought he could have a great day today, and so did a lot of other people in the field, especially Jada. But she just got a little too tired too early on in the race and had a DNF today's race. Jesse continues to dominate. Ethan was hoping for a better day today. He's had a pretty good day, and he's probably happy about it and appreciative about it, but just not a good enough day to win this Plum 100. But he still has time. He just needs a caution. There is Ethan. Jesse's right to him. Jesse might put him a lap down. Look at him. He's right there. Jesse trying to lap this entire field at least once. Ethan is like, no, he wants at least two. Ethan wants to be him and Jesse on the lead lap, and that has been it right now. There goes Jesse charging to the outside. Not going to be enough. Chris is back on the track after going off for a minute. We don't know what was wrong. There's Jesse continuing to try to lap Ethan. Will it be enough, though? Probably not. Eric crashes. We are fine, though. There we go. That's the white flag. 1 lap to go. Here in the Plum 100. Doherty will not be able to do it. But Jesse's going to win the Plum 100 here today. The 25 of Jesse Ramirez wins. Second, Ethan Doherty. Third, Chris Ramirez. Jesse Ramirez wins today's Plum 100 here at Plum Court Raceway. Congrats to the 25 of Jesse Ramirez. He wins the Plum 100 here today at Plum Court Raceway. And Jesse, thank you for watching today's Plum 100. Finishing results: Jesse wins second, Ethan third, Chris fourth, Eric, and fifth, Jada. Enjoy.